And action. My name is Jamie, and I recently finished my first year at medical school, which is pretty wild to me. Prior to med school, I graduated from the University of Alberta's Augustana campus in 2019 with a Bachelor of Science in Biology. Classic. Through my experience at Augustana, I developed a passion for helping people maximize their capacity to reach their greatest potential. This passion in part inspired my interest to go into medicine, but also it's what inspired me to make this video. I do not have any doctors in my family or in my personal circle, and so when I was going through undergrad, I found it really helpful to have older peers who had gone to Augustana and then got into med school, and to be able to ask my questions to them. There's a lot of information on the internet about how to get into med school and tips and tricks for starting to the MCAT, but my hope is that through our shared experience of going to Augustana, it'll foster a little bit deeper connection and add some significance to what I have to share with you. For those of you that have already decided to pursue medicine and are maybe in undergrad trying to figure out your next few years of school, or are working on applications, or in the middle studying for your MCAT and are starting to question all of your life decisions, this video is intended to encourage you in the next leg of your journey. But also if you're still considering whether or not to pursue medicine, I hope that this video stimulates some things for you to think about as you navigate that next choice in your life. The first thing I want to encourage is to view diversity as an asset. It's really tempting to get caught up into the comparison game of thinking I don't have as much research as that person, or I don't have as much volunteering in hospitals as this person, etc, etc. And to be fair, I was definitely that person when I was applying for med school, but having variety on your application is just something that helps you stand out. And I think it's really good to balance having some experience in the medical field or in research or in something related, but also to balance doing other community things and things that you really enjoy and just want to engage in otherwise. In my experience meeting my peers in my class, they come from a wide background of academic and work experiences and other experiences prior to getting to med school, so don't be too caught up in making sure you have the perfect thing. Just look for balance and try to find some variety in there too. My next tip is to not put too much pressure on one single part of your application. There's a lot of different components to med school applications, and they'll vary from school to school and from year to year, and how much they're weighted will vary too. And so if you have one part of your application that doesn't feel perfect, don't put too much pressure on it. I know for me, I felt like I had pretty well-rounded application and I had pretty good grades and good references, but my MCAT was not so great. There's a minimum that you score that you have to get to pass the MCAT, and there's a goal that I wanted for my MCAT. My final score was right in the middle. So even though I debated for a while whether it was worth it to even apply for med school or whether I should rewrite my MCAT, at the end I'm really glad that I did apply and did turn out well for me, and I do think it helped to put things into perspective that they are looking for a well-rounded applicant, not just one component of it that's important. My next tip is to identify your why, and through that, identify your true core values. Simon Sinek has a pretty popular video and book about finding your why, and at the core of this idea is that it's important to look at what you are doing and figure out to a more specific degree why you are doing it. Identifying specifically what it is about medicine that makes you value it as a future career not only will help motivate you when you're trying to work towards that goal, but also having a framework of values is a really critical form of self-awareness that not only can be helpful in your applications, but also will definitely be helpful in your future role as a physician. On the topic of values, something that I really value is growth. And that inspires this next point of fostering a growth mindset. Getting into med school is not the end-all be-all of your life, of your educational journey, or of your career. It's just one step in the process, and it's a process that you've already started well before you actually got into medicine. So as you're looking towards medicine as a career, again, having a little bit broader perspective and having the mindset of this is just one step towards becoming the person I want to be and building the life I want, I think is really critical for framing what this step means for you. Having a growth mindset can also really help you find different opportunities to build yourself and to build your skill set, not just try to build yourself into the perfect med school applicant. Again, it's all about balance, and there is no perfect med student, there is no perfect applicant. Work on building yourself, and that's what's going to shine the most through when you finally go to apply for med school. And my number one tip for those who are looking to med school or just in general is to foster curiosity. The best thing that I did in undergrad was start asking questions. Be curious about things in the world and about things in medicine. Maybe for you that's looking at disability ethics, or looking at refugee health, or looking at research in bowel transplant. Whatever it is, start looking specifically at the things in medicine that you're curious about, because that's again what's going to fuel you in going towards this next step of your journey. And additionally, be curious about yourself. This goes along with identifying your core values and doing that internal work. That self-awareness is going to help you get really, really far. I realize that a lot of this advice is pretty general, but my hope is that I put it enough into a med school context to make it relevant for you if you're pursuing medicine, but also even if you're not, just as general things that I think will help in your growth as a student and in the rest of your life. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm really passionate about helping students reach their greatest potential, and so if you're interested in talking a little bit more with me specifically about my med school journey, about school, or about anything else, you can get my information to the alumni office. I hope that this video served as a catalyst to help you think about some things a little bit differently, encourage you with whatever step of this journey that you're on, and I thank you for watching, so good luck and stay groovy.